The PS5 had a good run this year, with more than 1,000 games released on the platform. We bring you the highest rated ones based on critic and gamer reviews, presenting the 10 best PS5 games of 2023. We're off to a strong start with Final Fantasy XVI. It pushed the series to a new direction with its evolved real-time combat. This cemented 16 as the first new-gen Final Fantasy. Not only is it as stylish as 15, it's also mechanically satisfying, hacking and slashing enemies with lengthy combos. But one of the game's biggest selling points are the epic icon battles. These gargantuan and cinematic boss fights push the limits of the PS5, sometimes too much.
Holy shit, look at dude.
Some of them were standout sequences that might be remembered as one of gaming's best moments. Ironically enough, for a game about speed, its quest design is so outdated and it ruins the pace, which caused a few concerns from fans. Then again, it's not a Final Fantasy game without any issues. A play score of 8.9. Before we continue, we would like to thank the sponsor of this video, Aura. You ever get those annoying spam texts and calls? I've been getting a lot of those lately. It's all because there are these companies that mine personal data and sell them to spammers, and it takes a painful amount of time to get your contact info off that list. This is where Aura comes in. Aura is a service that facilitates the removal of your personal info from the database of these data brokers. It starts by identifying which brokers are sharing your details, then Aura sends an official request to get your info off their list. And these brokers are legally required to remove your details. Setting up your account is easy. It comes with added protections like antivirus, VPN, password manager, parental controls, and many more. It even has a safe gaming system that protects your gamer child from online predators and cyberbullying when playing games. It currently supports more than 200 PC games. So guard your info right now. Go to aura.com/whatoplay to start your free 2-week trial. Link is in the description box below. From Software didn't give us the Elden Ring DLC this year, but a new Armored Core was a very tempting proposition. The fires of Rubicon blaze through new and old Soulsborne players in this mecha power fantasy. It's a gorgeous game, and its boss fights fit from Soft's Get Good playbook. You know who we're talking about. It was a revival 10 years in the making. It reintroduced the series' mainstay customization and movement-based combat. It gave players more freedom to experiment with their own Armored Core. These systems and mechanics are made accessible for new players, which is part of the reason why the series went from niche to popular with AC6. It receives a play score of 9 out of 10. A love letter to classic RPGs, Sea of Stars' vibrant retro design welcomes players into this cozy fantasy setting. PS5 players were giddy to find out that it's coming free for PlayStation Plus subscribers. Like old-school RPG titles, Sea of Stars embraced its video game inspirations. It gave us memorable characters, deep lore, and turn-based combat. While these elements are familiar to veterans, what Sabotage Studios did was improve on all the genre's strong foundations with an awareness of new-gen tech. Combat was much more seamless, its story isn't all over the place, and the mechanics are much more accessible even for new players of the genre. You didn't have to Google any Sea of Stars game that came out 10 years ago. It gets a play score of 9.1. Speaking of RPGs, Octopath Traveler II is also a great example of improving on past mistakes. This sequel enhanced the long and winding journey of its cast of 8 playable characters. Its 2.5D art style looks so good when playing it on the PlayStation 5. Similar to Sea of Stars, Octopath Traveler 2 has a classic feel to it, yet they don't limit themselves, so they adjust to modern gaming standards. Its engaging turn-based combat no longer feels as frustrating as the first game, and the new dynamic dialogues between your party members will add more flavor to the road ahead. But if it were up to me, what really made me appreciate the sequel is its immaculate soundtrack. It's chef's kiss. Just listen to this.
Come on, then.
It has a play score of 9.1. Capcom's years of fighting game expertise hit another knockout with Street Fighter VI. Together with its roster of iconic heroes, Street Fighter VI is not just a huge leap to the next generation of the genre, it also gives players more choices to get good at fighting games. It's 2023, everyone should be enjoying fighting games. Whether you want to play with a friend from a different console or someone with a disability, Capcom has all the tools needed to make it possible. Noisy Pixel enjoyed the game so much that they gave it a perfect score, saying it's a game that'll carry the franchise, the fighting game community, and the genre into the next decade of gaming. A play score of 9.2.
This is where we make our masterpiece.
2023 is a big year for survival horror. We saw the return of 3 classic IPs in a whole new light, starting off with Dead Space. Nobody in their right mind wants to return to the USG Ishimura, but EA Motive knows that a lot of us want more Dead Space. Isaac Clarke's reimagined journey in this derelict space station is made even more terrifying. Apart from adding new story layers to the Ishimura crew, this remake excelled in its atmosphere. It puts the horror in different kinds of directions with its brilliant sound and lighting design. It's so good you have no idea where the next necromorph will pop out. It was the right kind of remake which wowed critics and gamers alike. Now everyone's waiting for the next one. It has a play score of 9.3.
Remarkable.
From an eldritch outer space threat to an eldritch writer's block, survival horror fans are eating well this year. Alan Wake 2 is a culmination of their planned Remedy connected universe. We've had glimpses of it with Control, and now Alan Wake 2 commits to this daunting continuity. Don't mistake the sequel with the original. This is a full-blown horror game that's made to terrify fans of the genre. Mix that with Remedy's surreal visual style and you get a lot of audio-visual stimuli that leaves a mark even after the credits roll. Its dual protagonist story also benefits from this trippy narrative direction. Saga's Fincher-like detective work is far from Alan Wake's avant-garde dream logic scenarios. Both are experiences you wouldn't want to miss out on. It receives a play score of 9.3.
I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror.
Show me the terror.
While Alan Wake was flashing lights against the Taken, Leon Kennedy saves the president's daughter from a freaky Spanish cult. Resident Evil 4 Remake is a confident revival to one of the best survival horror games out there. Capcom succeeded in giving players what they want, all while adding more layers to Leon's campy zombie adventure. It was a great game 18 years ago and is a great game once again. Gamers are pleased with how impressive the remake is, praising its visuals and third-person combat. It really set the bar high for the series' future, and with everything in place, a Code Veronica remake is imminent. It receives a play score of 9.4.
This time, it has to be different.
We call it a symbiote, and it chose you.
Insomniac knows that two Spider-Men are better than one. Spider-Man 2 melds Peter and Miles' superhero responsibilities into one action-packed sequel. As a PlayStation exclusive, Sony banked on it going bigger and better, and they succeeded. What a fantastic follow-up. It's darker, bolder, and it has venom. Traversal is as satisfying as ever with the addition of the web wings. When the Spider-Man weren't swinging, they're gliding. This helped players explore the expanded New York, which is home to many challenges and villains to fight. Even with a bigger map, Insomniac flexes their tech know-how with zero loading times even when fast traveling. This is Sony's best take on the web-slinger, and it pushes the PS5 closer to its full potential. Easily the best superhero experience in recent memory, a play score of 9.5.
And the game of the year is
Everybody knows it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
The best PS5 game of 2023 is Baldur's Gate 3. This is a result of years of hard work from Larian Studios, made possible by passionate developers and a strong community. After launching off Steam's early access, we finally had our hands on this modern RPG masterpiece. What sets Baldur's Gate 3 apart from all the AAA titles is its breadth of content. Like a true D&D RPG, there's a lot of possibilities you can do as long as you believe in your dice rolls. Romancing a sexy vampire, blowing up armies with well-stacked barrels, or talking to animals. It's like the perfect video game where anything is possible. Its turn-based combat might not be for everyone, but to those who can muster up the patience to learn the basics of pen and paper RPGs, Baldur's Gate 3 is a one-of-a-kind experience that puts player choice at the heart of its 50-hour campaign. It's one of the highest rated games of all time with a play score of 9.7.